Did I read this correctly? That from being supposedly helpful to the law enforcement agency, you got involved with organized crime?
Yeah, associated with some people who have or are doing time for murder, extortion, bringing drugs into the country. Not necessarily the the little dealers, but yeah, these guys were the people who ran our city and did a lot of stuff in Ontario with their links right through to whether it's New York or certain other particular organizations of the criminal element. And yeah, I went from, deep inside, you know what, I always wanted to be, I think, the person I am today. But I was so afraid to do that because that was so different from who I hung out with. Now, like when
the peer group.
Yeah, well, I went from, like when I first started going to the bars and all that, like I'd be lying if I said I didn't have any fun out there. In the beginning, it was fun. You know, we drank and we played hockey and slow pitch, and you know, that group of friends, we had fun. We were funnier more than anything else. It was when I started to make that switch. It was when I couldn't put enough alcohol into my system to numb how I felt inside. Now, this is me looking back. I didn't know it at the time. And my life was just slowly becoming insanity, and the choices I would make. You know, when I got stabbed at 23, I reacted to a situation the same way I would have in grade 5. Only the consequences weren't detention or suspension. This time, it was me fighting for my life. So what I talk to the kids in the schools about is, listen, you got choices to make, and either you're making good choices or you're not. And if you're not, you need to ask yourself why. Is it because of the person over there and you want to fit in with their crew? Because nobody's worth that. You know, I wasted, and I tell the kids in the grade 7 to 12, listen, if you want to waste 25 years plus like I did, by all means, just do what I did and you'll be fine. And maybe you won't die. Maybe you'll just be left in a wheelchair. Maybe you'll just be left in some other challenge capacity. Those 6 friends that I lost between 16 and 21, that was like high school drinking buddies who weren't any problem with the law. Those were friends that just went out and made poor choices, and we lost them.
And today, we were talking about this in the green room, you know, marijuana isn't what it was in your time.
No.
Quick reality slice on that.
Well, I mean, back in the day, back in the 70s, whatever, I mean, the THC levels were about 2%. They're upwards of 20 to 40 now. You know, on the raids that it's coming in.
Highly addictive. Well,
it is. It's the #1 drug that youth are seeking treatment for right now. And what they don't realize, what the youth don't realize, is the growth of marijuana is a multi-billion-dollar business. It used to be 4 kilos of our marijuana going to the States would bring back 2 kilos of cocaine and some guns. Now it's almost kilo for kilo. So the stuff that's on the streets right now is very highly addictive because a lot of it is sprayed with crystal meth. And the crack or the cocaine that they're doing is cut with crystal meth. And crystal meth is, if you want to see someone lose who they are and lose their identity, you start doing that stuff. And that's why the drug is #1 that the youth seek treatment for, because of the high THC levels, the way it's being grown, and what it's being cut or sprayed with. So these guys are going out to parties, and they don't even know what they're using.
Meth labs, how-tos on the internet. It's a scary, scary time. You didn't know where to go. You've been clean and sober since January 19th, 1998.
Yep.
Thank the Lord for options for young people who want to make a fresh start. Gambling is another addiction. You respond to all of these things. Tell us what's happening in the very place where your life was nearly destroyed.
Well, I grew up in, I was raised in Stony Creek. I started growing up in rehab. But I was raised in Stony Creek, and I've been moved. I haven't lived in Stony Creek in quite some time. I did go back for a little bit, about 1.5 years or so, but not really back. So I've been in Burlington for, Colleen and my family, we've been in Burlington for quite some time now, about 6 or 7 years. And the CCAA, the Canadian Centre for Abuse Awareness, I've been working with Ellen Campbell over the years. And
Ellen Campbell's been here on our Full Circle program.
That's right.
She is the director of the Canadian Centre for Abuse Awareness.
And the founder. She founded it in her basement. 1993, she started that from her basement. It's just what it's doing now. You have to go to abusehurts.com to read everything that they're doing, because we don't have enough time to go through everything. But she said, we have some money, it's allocated for Hamilton. We've been trying to do something in Hamilton, so let's do it. We actually had a place we were going to go in Hamilton, almost a done deal. And I was driving through to see my parents in Stony Creek, and I saw one of the old, it used to be one of the best sports places to go. You get your skate sharpened, sticks, tape, and all that stuff, right? It's called Sportacular. Right in downtown Stony Creek, and I saw a for lease sign. Long story short, I said, Lord, we're not going to be able to afford what they're going to ask for. So God made the provision to get through the realtor to the owners of the building, and it allowed me to tell the story. So here we are now. I'm in downtown Stony Creek. Storefront, right there, and we're less than a kilometer away from the old Stony Creek Arena, where dozens of guys like me were sexually abused as young boys. And it's not, it's time for closure, it's time for healing, it's time for the victims were validated. And that's one of the reasons I think God has us there. And we are a resource and referral center. There are wonderful programs all around us that can help people. But like me, and as you said, when I came forward, the phone book might as well have been 6'8" with small print. I didn't know where to go. Now people can come to us. They can walk in, they can call, they can email, whatever the case may be. That's what we do. You can walk in and go, listen, me or a family member or somebody needs some help, and we don't know where to go. And we help refer them. We give them that dignity, because today there's so much stigma and discrimination against those seeking help for either abuse or addiction or mental health illnesses. This way you come to us and we help set you up with something that's in your area.
God is able to restore all things to himself. And we want to help you get connected if this is a right geography for you, Stony Creek. The information's on our website. It's being called the Canadian Centre for Abuse Awareness, Stony Creek.
Well, it's the Southwestern Ontario office. I'm the director, and our head office, of course, is run by Allan out of Newmarket. And it's a growing, the things that they are doing, I'm just honored to be a part of, doing my part over in my little corner of the earth.
And speaking of that very corner of the earth, I love this, how God redeems. You're having an event in September. You are going to take back that arena where so many vile things happened. You have a special reconciling event coming.
We do. We don't have the date set yet. It's still in motion, but it will be in September. It'll be at the old Stony Creek Arena. We're going to, the old Junior C hockey team used to play Friday night. So we're going to rock that rink one more time on a Friday night. And we're going to play the Junior C alumni. A friend of mine's putting that together. And I have a bunch of former NHLers coming in. Respect in Sport is something Sheldon Kennedy does now. And everyone I'm sure knows about Sheldon and the sexual abuse he went through. And Sheldon's coming, he's flying in to play with us.
You're going to have to come back and tell us about it.
Yeah, it's an awesome opportunity, and we're really looking forward to giving those victims that validation and that they really deserve.
I love this Taste of Youth Yak live. Watch for this guy in schools. Here is Glenn's story in a capsule from Isaiah. He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Even youths grow tired and weary, and young men stumble and fall. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. Thank you for the encouragement you are to our young people, Glenn.
Thank you.